Hello everyone, it's Deirdre here. Welcome back with another recipe. And today we're making peach cobbler cookies. If you've never made anything like this before, which I hadn't before I came up with this recipe, you are gonna fall in love the way I did. So let's get into this recipe. We are starting by browning our butter over the stove. Brown butter over just regular melted butter just gives a much deeper and nuttier flavor inside your cookie. So you're gonna just wait until it browns and gets little pieces at the bottom of the butter, and you'll smell it on the stove. And then you're gonna pour that into your bowl. Now we're adding in all of our sugars, brown sugar, white sugar, and some salt. And we're gonna whisk that together until it's combined. Now let's go ahead and add in our vanilla extract and 2 eggs. While this is going on, just go ahead and preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Now we're mixing this all together until combined and smooth. If you want a little taste of this, which I do sometimes, even though eggs and sugar doesn't sound the best and sounds like salmonella, but I don't know, it tastes kind of good to me. Now we're going in with our baking powder, or maybe soda. Check the directions down below. That, our cinnamon, nutmeg, and our flour. We're folding this together until we get a thick dough. It's going to be a little bit crumbly, so go ahead and use your hands to really mix that together at the end. Don't worry about the dough coming out dry in the oven. Just because it's a little bit crumbly doesn't mean that you're not going to have a deep, soft cookie for later on. So go ahead and take your scooper, about 1 inch to 2 inch size, and roll these out on a cookie sheet with some parchment paper. You're going to create a well in the middle so we can have space for our peach cobbler mixture that we're going to add in later. Go ahead and throw these in the oven for about 10 to 13 minutes until the edges are crinkly and slightly browned. While they're baking, go ahead and take your peach filling and whip it up on the stove. We're starting with sliced peaches. I personally would have loved to use fresh peaches, which you can use if you have them in stores, but it just wasn't, they were sold out in my store. So I just used a canned version and made sure to rinse off all that extra filling that comes in the can. So I added that, the brown sugar, the cornstarch, the regular sugar, and some lemon juice. And we're gonna stir that over the stove until it combines and melts together. You wanna break up the pieces as time goes on, as it softens down, and it's gonna start to thicken and look just like this. Remove it from the heat and let it cool a little bit. And now we're gonna make our icing. This is the topper to this delicious cookie. It's simply just a cinnamon icing glaze, some powdered sugar, cinnamon, and milk. A little vanilla extract too. Whisk that together rapidly. You want to get out all those little clumps, and you'll have a nice and smooth glaze that looks like this. Now that our cookies are done, you're going to let those cool just a little bit because you do still want to eat these while they're warm. That's what makes them so delicious. So now you're going to scoop in your peach filling. I like to make mine hefty, nice and full, because this is a decent sized cookie. So make sure you get as much peach filling in there as you'd like. Also, one thing that I did when these cookies came out of the oven is I used a spoon to press them down a bit more, just to make sure that well was really indented there, because during the baking process, obviously your cookies will rise just a bit. Last but not least, we're drizzling our cinnamon glaze all over these peach cobbler cookies. I mean, how good does that look? My mouth is watering again. I'm gonna make some more in a couple weeks because my coworkers absolutely devoured these. To top these cookies off, you're gonna wanna top them with a scoop of ice cream while it's still warm, and it'll melt together perfectly. I mean, look at that. Chef's kiss. If you're looking for all the recipe, ingredients, and measurements, go ahead and check the description below. See y'all next week with another recipe. Bye.